Hi everybody, thanks for joining me here once again for another session of advice with the Zodiac Twist. Before I start, I just want to apologize in advance. I know the lighting in here isn't great, but it's really freaking hot and I'm being stubborn about turning on my air conditioning, so this isn't going to be perfect, but whatever. I'm not doing this take again. This is my first and only take, so let's get to it. Alright, so a YouTuber sent me an email not too long ago, and I'm going to use her nickname Mono, and she wanted to know if I could do a birth chart on her. Now, a birth chart is a little bit different than a regular overall assessment of your zodiac sign, because when you're just doing your zodiac sign, you're just focusing on your one sun sign. But when you're doing a birth chart, you're going a little bit deeper. You're analyzing every aspect of the day you were born, using the month, day, and year, and if you have it available, the time of birth and the place of birth. But we're not going to do all that because it's extremely complicated and I don't have enough time. So what we're going to do is focus on 4 planetary alignments: the Sun, Moon, Mars, and Venus. Now, her sun sign is Gemini. Her moon sign, and by the way, the moon sign determines your emotional state. It determines how you are and how you handle situations emotionally. Your Venus determines how you handle relationships, whether it's with your family or it's your girlfriend or boyfriend, things like that. And your Mars deals with aggression, temperament, how you handle anger, rage, things of that nature. So those are why we're focusing on the 4 planetary properties in and of itself. And of course, the sun sign deals with your overall personality. So, and that's why I was trying to touch base the last video before YouTube cut me off, how I was saying that not all zodiac signs are exactly the same, meaning like not all Geminis are the same, not all Scorpios are the same. And the birth chart really illustrates that. So we're just going to work on these 4 right now. And I took notes because I'm an obsessive note taker. So, like I said, her sun sign is Gemini. Now, Geminis, for the most part, are extremely energetic and sociable, outgoing, and fun. To be honest, I can only take Geminis, but for so long, I don't know why, but I feel like they always feel like they have to be on. And I can't take that type of energy all the freaking time. But I love being around Geminis, just not a lot. They're extremely charming, as all air signs are, Libra and Aquarius as well. They're just inherently charming. It just comes with the territory. And they're extremely sociable, very intelligent, and all that stuff. They're always wanting freedom, Geminis. You know, whether they're in a relationship or not, they always want to know that whenever they feel like it, they can just up and go. They really don't like feeling like they have responsibilities, even though they probably do, but they don't want to feel confined to responsibility. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing that they hate being portrayed as is being predictable. That is their Achilles heel. They cannot stand being called predictable. Like, oh, I knew she was going to do that. You know, that's something that they really don't like. But the Gemini's biggest fear, and it's probably something that they may or may not admit to, but the Gemini's biggest fear is not being liked. So for that reason, they tend to sit on the fence a little bit and try to be indifferent, even if they aren't, or try to be impartial. But it's only because they really have an inner fear of being disliked, and they don't want people to say, oh, I don't like her because she didn't agree with me. So to try to alleviate that, then they just won't take a stance at all, even though they may have very strong opinions about one situation or the other. But if they can try to keep the peace by trying to be everybody's friend, then they will. Because like I said, Geminis are very sociable people, and they do have a wide circle of friends from all different walks of life. Now, that's the sun sign, Gemini. I would go deeper into it, but that's not what this is about, so let's move on. The moon sign. Her moon sign is Capricorn. Now, this is very interesting because when you sent me the email, and I'm not going to quote what you told me word for word, Mono, but when you sent me the email, you said something to the effect of that you found it very hard to open up to people emotionally and tell them how you feel, like, I love you, I care about you, blah, blah. And you found it very hard to believe when people said that to you, I love you, I care about you, blah, blah. And then when I did your chart and I realized that your moon was in Capricorn, it started to make sense to me why you felt that way. Because Capricorns are very ambitious, and for that reason they tend to be very successful. Now, the downside of that is the fact that they really don't show a lot of emotion. If they do love you and care about you, they're more demonstrative than they are verbal. Like, they'll show you that they love you and care about you by, like, buying you something, or, you know what I mean, things like that, rather than just telling you. I'm going to turn this music down. Give me a second. Anyway, I'm not doing this again. Anyway, so that's what Capricorns are about. They're more demonstrative by, like, taking you out or, like, buying you things. rather than just verbally telling you that they love you and that they care about you. And so that for that reason, they can kind of come across as cold, but Capricorns really aren't cold. They just have a huge wall up, and they want you to prove to them that you are worth letting their guard down. You see what I'm saying? So with your Sun in Gemini and your Moon in Capricorn, it can be interesting for you because Geminis, for the most part, are very much open books. You're very open. But with your Moon in Capricorn, you tend to keep people at arm's length until you really feel like they do really care about you. They really do love you. They really do have your best interests at heart. So that's a little assessment of your Moon being in Capricorn. Now, your Mars is in Capricorn as well. Now, like I said, Mars deals with aggression, temperament, anger, and how you handle those things. Now, with your Mars in Capricorn, you tend to be more focused and determined than most Geminis, because Geminis can be kind of indecisive, kind of flighty. And with Capricorn, you're more single-minded, and you can be very organized when you feel like it. Okay? You don't like word games. You're a very straightforward person, and you like that in return. You don't like somebody like telling you what you want to hear, to spare your feelings, to not make you feel bad. You want people to be straight up with you, and you are straight up with them as well. So that's, how you handle other people. You really don't like confrontation. You try to avoid it if you can, but if someone pushes you to that point, you have no problem ripping them to shreds verbally. Now, your Venus is in Cancer. Now, this means, for the most part, you tend to want people to pick up on the vibes that you send out when you need a hug, when you need some words of encouragement, when you need a kiss or a I love you, I care about you. You tend to expect people to just automatically assume when you need help. And that's not the way it works, Mono. You can't just assume that people are going to know when something's wrong. You have to be the one to take the initiative to reach out to them, to let them know how you're feeling. This is something that you really need to work on. And like I said, I'm not going to quote everything you said in the email word for word, but you got into some pretty deep things. And I understand how you feel about not automatically believing people when they say that they care about you or that they love you or that they really, really like you for who you are. But in actuality, they really do, because you are a genuine person and you have a great energy about you. So you shouldn't feel like, oh, I can't believe them. Oh, they're lying. They're just telling me what I want to hear. Because for the most part, trust me when I say they really aren't. So just trust people a little bit more. I'm not saying let your guard completely down, but, take baby steps. And if you want people to care about you and love you and support you, then you have to show that in return. And that means not just showing it through demonstrative ways. You have to say it. You have to verbalize it. Okay, because Geminis are the communicators of the zodiac, so you should have no problem telling someone how you really feel. So that's something I want you to work on, okay? And I hope that I answered all your questions. I hope I did an okay job with your chart, and I really do hope that things work out for you. And of course, if you have any other questions, feel free to contact me. And if you have any questions that you want my advice on, or if you want me to do a chart for you, please feel free to email me, creativewritings247@gmail.com. I thank you for viewing, and have a fantastic weekend. Stay cool, because I'm going to try to stay cool. So until then, I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll probably want to post another video after this one, so you'll probably see me again tomorrow because it takes forever to upload. Alright, you guys, talk to you soon.